And the race is now starting. Round 3 of ORL Tier 1. Mahavir leading the way, and we are underway for round 3. And it's a great start from the Williams there. Keithy with a great start as well, already putting pressure on Danger. And then the Haas of Grateful Dog having nowhere to go there. Around the outside goes Keithy into P2. He gets the job done. And Danger is trying to defend from his teammate now. Wedlock and Mickey are now wheel to wheel as well. But Wedlock gets away, and Mickey just has to back out of that one. And now under pressure from Guga on the inside. It's Guga versus Mickey wheel to wheel. Mickey sweeps around the outside. He spins and gets big damage from that as well. Guga is caught up in some trouble as well. He's down to P9, and all of a sudden, the timing screen is just absolutely flipped here for some reason, and it's Zonix who's up in P6 ahead of Coistra. So what a start for the McLarens there, P6 and P8. And here we go, the Sauber is making the move into P2. And he should be able to get that job done without DRS. Very nicely done there by Ari Wedlock, who gets himself into second position. Mickey is all the way down in P12. Guga has been able to recover a little bit after that incident. Any poor exit here could be costly. Guga now has a 3-second time penalty. That is definitely going to hurt as Globdrip is tumbling down the order. He's off onto the grass there. And now spinning around. That's definitely not the start that Globdrip wanted there. Down in P17. There's a bit of close action here between Jaded Juicebox and Glowsticks. And in the meantime, up front, there's plenty of position changes going on as Ari Wedlock hanging on to P2, but wheel to wheel goes Zonix and Danger, and Zonix trying to take P4 off the Haas here. He's got the inside line now, sweeps through, does the McLaren, and what a race Zonix is having at the moment. He's going to have a bit of work here to defend Danger here, but it looks like he's got the job done. But SNF Wolf is now having a go at Danger, going down the inside. Danger will have the outside line here. He's just got to hold it if he wants to keep the place, and he does break late and try and hold the RB off, but he's going to run out of road here. And SNF Wolf with a very well-executed move to get himself into P5, and all of a sudden, he's right there with Zonix as Ari Wedlock and Grateful Dog have pulled away from this pack, and Guga has lost a place to Com United on those soft tyres, but this is still plenty of straight to go as Guga has picked up the DRS and takes that spot back. Very nicely done by the Aston Martin. Com United has gone down the inside though and is still there. PS Bomber waiting in the wings for an opportunity, and Guga just hangs on to it for now. Wolf is shaping up for a pass on Zonix, but we're going to look at this for the moment as Com United goes to the outside. Guga defended the inside, but nothing he could do there, and sweeps around the outside, gets the job done, does Com United into P7. And Guga with that 3-second penalty will be hurting at this stage. And he'll be looking to continue to increase that. This is looking like a very easy pass for Grateful Dog. And the Haas has gotten through very nicely. And they'll be happy to continue exchanging places for the foreseeable future. As Zonix also gets the job done on SNF Wolf back into P4. Danger stalking behind. As Guga as well gets that pass. And PS Bombers, there's a yellow and there's a virtual safety car. I think there might be Globdrip, who's in the middle of the track there, very slow. And no front wing either. So not the race Globdrip would have been hoping for. He's going to have to find his way back into the pits and get a front wing change. And really no prospect of points there for him. Mahavir does go into the pits. Is anyone going to follow him in? Yes. Grateful Dog is going to do it, as is Ari Wedlock. Zonix decides to stay out as Ari Wedlock picks up a 10-second penalty. That is really going to hurt, and now it's gone green. So has this pit stop actually hurt the guys that have come in, as SNF Wolf times that pass to perfection as Glowsticks picked up a drive-through penalty. So where is Mahavir going to come out now? Because this hasn't really helped him. He's actually behind Ari Wedlock. There's absolute mayhem going on here. I'm not sure how that's happened, but Mahavir has lost a place to Grateful Dog and Ari Wedlock. Maybe he picked up a bit of front wing damage and had to get it changed, possibly. But all of a sudden, not in a great spot here, and they've got traffic here, so it's not exactly going to be very easy to navigate for Grateful Dog. He's got some work cut out for him. He's got Mikey, Firestrike, and Broadstar all in front as Mikey goes down the inside, and he's got that job done. Up into P10. This is very interesting stuff going on here, but Mahavir should be able to catch up to this pack pretty quickly. But all of a sudden, his lead has been disintegrated, and all the while they're losing big time to the leaders. who are going to get some good laps in. The longer Grateful Dog is stuck behind, they are going to lose time to the front, even though they are on new tyres, and it's getting really tight here as Grateful Dog, I believe, is trying to pass an AI here, which is never an enjoyable task at a race, as Zonix takes the lead back, and all of a sudden in the box seat of this race are Zonix, Danger, SNF Wolf. Danger on those hard tyres as well has just kicked into gear. Ari Wedlock just went off the track there, as you saw, and has picked up a 3-second for it, and goes down the inside of Grateful Dog. Gets that job done now in a very awkward spot here with 3 cars in front of him. Broadstar, Mikey, and Firestrike. And he muscles his way through, but it's a big snap for Ari Wedlock, and that really hurts. And now Mahavir does get past Grateful Dog. Still got some work to do, though. He might not even be in the provisional lead of the race anymore. We're going to check the gap to the leader. It's currently 17 seconds and climbing for Mahavir. So this could get a bit awkward here towards the end of the race, as Mahavir does make quick work of Mikey, and Grateful Dog wants to desperately hang on to the Williams here. So he's going to have to make this pass very quickly. Mahavir is practically pushing Broadstar on the track here. He doesn't want to get too close. This could get a bit hairy for him. Broadstar defends to the inside. He's trying to help out his teammate, who is a little bit further up the road, because this battle could be crucial. Look at Grateful Dog. Here we go. 3 wide into turn 1. Grateful Dog flies through on Mahavir and Broadstar. Broadstar was just not able to hang on there, and Mahavir does get through, but that's a big move by Grateful Dog to get that done. And all of a sudden, now he's in the box seat. New hard tyres and ahead of Mahavir, and it's going to be really hard for Mahavir to break that DRS train. A good look at Zonix here, who's just fallen out of the DRS of Danger, and SNF will thought better of a move there down the inside, but they don't want to let Danger go here. He's 1.3 seconds ahead of them, and now just passing a back marker, so he's going to get DRS as well, as SNF Wolf should be able to make this pass quite comfortably, and he does into P2. But he's dropped off the pack quite significantly. This is where it gets interesting. Mahavir is going down the inside of both drivers, and he clears them both in one go. In the meantime, Grateful Dog not even close. So Mahavir has now put 2 cars in between them, and this is very crucial for him. He should be able to break the DRS gap now and go on his way. But still a very solid run here for Grateful Dog on lap 14. He's got to have his work cut out for him, trying to pass H. Mewburn. And he goes to the inside, the fresher tyres, the better grip, and he gets through, and JD Juicebox has run off the track there, and he's lost a place to H. Mewburn, so that helps Grateful Dog make his way through, and now it's 1.2 seconds the difference. With a bit of clear air, really showing what he can do, but PS Bomber has stayed in front of him down this straight, and he is going to be fighting tooth and nail to keep that Williams behind, as Zonix would want him to, and there's a yellow in Sector 1, and it's Glow Sticks is out of the race. And it's down at turn 2 there, as Mahavir goes down the inside of PS Bomber, and he does get the job done. So PS Bomber, not much he can do about that. Is he going to send it down the inside? He is going to send it down the inside. He's going to make the Williams work for it, and that's a great pass there from the McLaren, really doing the job here for his team and trying to secure a podium for the first time this season, and he knows how important this battle is. Mahavir is absolutely desperate to get through, and he's got a good run here. I'm not sure if the McLaren's going to be able to stop him. Mahavir round the outside now. PS Bomber holding that inside line with everything he can. A good run here for Mahavir. He does get the job done, but this is a bit of an awkward spot though, because PS Bomber very close, and he will have DRS down this main straight. Can he do anything to fight him back? But it's been a very good run for Mahavir. So for the first time this race, we can report some raindrops on the screen, and PS Bomber coming into the pits. Is that for Inters? I think it might be a bit early. You got to wait for the rain to settle in a little bit. Is he going for the early gamble? Yes, he is. So the Inter's coming on that McLaren, and this is where it starts to spice up. Mahavir has gotten to 3 seconds the gap. So he hasn't really lost out too much. He did start the race on pole. Now, is it going to be this lap or next lap? Broadstars bites the bullet as well. So does Rhino. So they're all on the Inters. The big question is who's going to make the correct call here. What's Danger doing? Danger's pulling straight into the pits. He's saying, I've had enough of these hard tyres. Get me a set of Inters. And now here we go, Zonix and Wolf. Are they both going to come in? Zonix does. Wolf doesn't. So who is going to be right here? Mahavir stays out too. So it's a 2 versus 2 here, really. Who's correct? Is it Wolf and Mahavir, or is it Danger and Zonix? Was it a little bit too early? Grateful Dog stays out as well, as does Ari Wedlock. Com United comes in, though. Guga's going to stay another lap. He's got some fresher tyres. It's not going to hurt him as much. Com United's actually retired from the race. I'm not sure where that's happened. What's Mahavir going to do? Stay out again. Wolf does not. He comes in. Grateful Dog stays out another lap. Ari Wedlock stays out, but Wolf has made that decision. We'll see how much time he's gained here and where he comes out relative to Zonix, because he was the man he was with. So here we go. On to the intermediates. Where is Zonix on the track? He's coming around the final corner. Gee, it's going to be tight. It looks like SNF Wolf's got him, though. And he has by about a second and a half. So not that much difference between staying out and intermediates at this stage. Let's see how Mahavir will go on board with him here. He's got 10 laps to go. Brino with a bit of end plate damage there. Has just been able to make his way past Broadstow. He's clearly struggling on those intermediate tyres. And I believe they've got Mahavir just behind them, and Broadstow with a big snap and round. Hopefully he hasn't picked up damage there. Really struggling in these wet conditions. Who's that? That's Grateful Dog into the pits. So another driver to come in. Mahavir's in too. So finally, the leaders all come in at the same time. And Danger is going to come down the main straight. Where's Mahavir going to come out? Danger takes the lead, but with a 3-second penalty. So what's the gap going to be here? As Grateful Dog, a huge slide from Zonix there, coming into that corner, and Grateful Dog's all over him. SNF Wolf has gotten away from Zonix, so a real struggle in the last couple of laps for him. Here we go, Grateful Dog gaining on Zonix to get P4. He does get it down the inside, and the Haas driver, Zonix is coming back at him though, sweeps through, and Grateful Dog has got that job done. 7-lap-old Inter's starting to catch up to him here. And I think he'll be happy to take a P2. And yeah, a bit of a snap there. And here goes Mahavir into the lead of the race. And a long run is complete. A lot of chasing for Mahavir to do. Started on pole all the way down into the P4 for quite a period of time there. But he's done the work. And he's found his way back up into P1. So really good drive there for Mahavir as Danger's had a moment. Once again, really struggling. The juice boxes had to come into the pits. And there's a virtual safety car. Not sure how it was caused. But no full safety car, so the field will not be bunched up. But a good time for Jayden Juicebox to hop into the pits. He won't lose too much time. He gets that front wing changed, and PS Bombers decided to quickly come in as well and slap some new inters on. In the meantime, Mickey has gone up to the points positions. And as I say that, he's got a drive-through penalty for speeding under virtual safety car. And that is just really, really poor timing. And down the inside goes Ari Wedlock on Guga, trying to hold it. And he's still there, still hanging in there is the Aston Martin. But not much he could do about that. And there's a yellow. What's happened here? Oh, a massive slide for Danger. And that is a huge moment. He's got a puncture. Danger's got a puncture here. I'm not sure how that's happened. But he has gotten a puncture at turn 1. And he's going to have to... He is not going to make it back. As Mahavir picks up a 3-second, but that's not going to matter. But that is a huge moment. The man in P2 has punctured his left rear tyre. And I have not seen that in a league race in ages. I haven't seen it on this game. I don't know how he's done that. But that is unbelievable. And he's going to have to roll back to the pits. And what's happened to Zonix? Zonix has got a problem. Zonix has got a puncture as well. What is going on? Zonix and Danger. Danger's retired. Zonix has a puncture also. What is going on here? 2 punctures in the same lap. Is it something to do with the intermediates? Can they just not go 10 laps? Zonix has spun. He's Stuck. He's going to get hit. Oh my goodness. This is bizarre. And now he's beached. Zonix might be able to get out. He's going to DNF. This is unbelievable. I actually cannot believe what we've seen. Zonix is now out, as is Danger. P2 and P5 in this race are gone. Despite all the drama, all the controversy, one man has steered clear of all that drama and a big slide into the final quarter. It was pole to first, but it was a lot more complicated than that. Mahavir crosses the line and takes the Spanish Grand Prix, and what a result it is for the Williams driver. On paper, it looked simple. It was nothing but. What a race. And it's Grateful Dog coming home in P2. That's a cracking drive from the Haas driver. And then SNF Wolf has managed to trundle his way to the line. He's avoided the 10-lap curse, and he's crossed the line, and he's taken the podium. Ari Wedlock will take a P4 from where he was. And then Guga, who didn't go on the inters, risked it on the mediums, and he's done a good job. He's finished P5, another good points haul for the Aston Martin. Coista and Mewburn fighting it out to the end. Mewburn on the hard tyres still. An incredible effort. H. Mewburn's going to finish P6. Coista P7. They both won't have any issues with that. And then it's going to be Rapid Mickey leading the way in P8 over JD Juicebox and Mikey. And they will round out the points places. What a wild race this was. But a great result for Grateful Dog as well. And SNF Wolf finishing on the podium. Will be very pumped with that. And only 12 finishes. Some big talking points. And there'll be plenty to be discussed after this race. What about those punctures from Zonix and Danger? An incredible race from Mikey as well, who's come from 19th all the way to P9. Joined the lobby late. So kudos to you, Mikey, in your first race. Well done, mate. But the focus is going to be what happened there in the rain. Unbelievable scene.
Lights here for the Canadian Grand Prix, and we are underway for racing action. Oscar Piastri getting off to a good start, but Grateful Dog trying the long way round already in the Haas. They're side by side for the race lead, but Oscar just about pulls out ahead as Martin is going side by side now with Clammy Kid, and Clammy Kid already making his stake in the top three here. He's down the inside. They're side by side. There's contact, and that's a bit of a bang with the wall there for the Haas of Clammy Kid. He gets damaged. Martin had to cut the chicane. That'll be a warning to his name already as well. They're still side by side. There's more contact, and Martin's back down the inside of Clammy Kid. They make more contact, and he has to cut the corner again. Clammy loses out severely this time around. He's dropped to 6th place, and he's still beginning to fall as Globdrip is now past him, and that is Martin dropping back. He's
Clammy Kids!
Clammy Kid is falling all the way down the order, and he's now in P14, and that is not what he'd want. P15, P16, it just keeps getting worse for Clammy Kid. Not the opening lap he'd want, and Martin as well tried to cede the position, but all it did was lose him more places, and now he's trying to go side by side with Mickey at the Wall of Champions, but he doesn't. But in the background, there's 3 wide between Guga, Rhino, and ZX through the final chicane. It's a pile-up.
Oh my goodness. And that's ZDEX out. Guga somehow survived that. And so did the RB of Rhino. But yeah, ZDEX out. VSC deployed. And what an insane start to the race that was. Piastri Gate was able to avoid all the carnage. Grateful Dog as well was able to get away. And Keith is really sensing an opportunity now to fight back. And Ari Wedlock has dropped Globdrip with the 1 second gap there. So if they can get away, he makes a move down the inside on Keithy. They've got the lap car in front who has to get out of the way. Kind of got in Ari Wedlock's way a little bit, but that was very interesting from Ari Wedlock, and now he has another crack at Keithy, but Keithy got a dose of DRS from Mikey, the lapped car, and that is just going to save his skin on this occasion. And now they are within 8/10 of Grateful Dog, who unfortunately, as a result of that, has fallen back into this battle and is going to have a bit of work to do as Mikey retires. Is that in the pits? I believe it is. And yeah, not a good race for the Williams. They're both out of the race, and they're the leading the constructors, or second in the constructors as well. That is not a great result for them. Yeah, it's a good observation there. You can see Grateful Dog just not as nimble through the corners as the Ferrari is. Can Keithy use that to his advantage as a yellow in the midfield? It's Globdrip has lost quite a few places there. Has he had a coming together with the wall? He has no front wing. No front wing for Globdrip, and that is not good for the Alpine team. But here we go now, the battle for P2. Keithy can now sail by the Haas driver, and so can Ari Wedlock. And they've both gained a position. Grateful Dog has lost 2 here, and he has accepted that he's fallen back into this fight in the recent laps here. But PS Bomber does well to hang on. Now Danger sees an opportunity. He's going to have a bit lower downforce as a result of that damage, and now going down the inside of Mickey. They break at about the same spot. Mickey getting squeezed a little bit, but Danger does give him the room and the respect to keep him in there, and Mickey does hang on to that position. A good little scrap there. Did hurt them in terms of time, but now all of a sudden Koistra is struggling, and Wolf is out, and that's at the exit of the chicane, and that's brought out the safety car.
And that is crucial now for a couple of drivers. That helps Keithy get right up back behind Oscar Piastri, who ran away, but now with another opportunity to stay in DRS, surely it won't go to waste, as well as Trent has been helped, Globdrip has been helped, and Guga and Rhino as well. And now they've come to blows again. Can't see if they have damage, but back up the front, Piastri, he very much bolted early, and he already nearly has a second to Keithy. So Keithy is going to have to use a lot of battery here to close back up. Everybody in the field was caught napping there when Oscar decided to go. And PS Bomber as well has lost 1 second to Trent already, but he's closing back into that space. But Keithy is right on the edge of 1 second. This is crucial for the battle for the race win. If Oscar can break that DRS, it'll be game over unless there's another safety car. So this is going to be a crucial moment in this race. 8.5 tenths between Keithy and Oscar Piastri Goat, and he just has to hold on for 2 more sectors of this lap, and he should be okay to hold on, but it's so close. But with only 1 more corner and a straight to go, 2 more corners and a straight to go, will he be able to hold in that 1 second margin?
But I'm not surprised that the 3 drivers without penalties are the top 3. The drivers that are able to keep it on the track usually tend to be the best drivers, and that's what we're seeing so far. It's a great exit out of the hairpin from Ari Wedlock. A good little fight back from Keithy, but he's not going to be able to do anything against that DRS from the Sauber.
Into the DRS range of Grateful Dog, Trent Newton, Martin, and almost PS Bomber as well. So now this fight gets just a little bit bigger once again as we head down the straight. Keithy is swapping around Martin.
Globdrip.
Oh, as Globdrip and oh no, what has happened? He's got damage on his Alpine, and that is into the wall once again for Globdrip. He's in the wars tonight, and he cannot seem to get his way out, as Koistra also retiring from the session in the pit lane, and it is an Alpine disaster class here in Montreal.
Yeah, what's happened all in the space of 1 lap? The Alpines have had a shocker. Koistra must have picked up some damage as well, and Koistra out of the race after looking really solid. Globdrip as well is going to stay in the race. He'll be down in P15. Oh no, P14 he'll remain, because Rhino's still quite a fair way back. Is defenseless against the Ferrari as Danger eases his way into P7 and continues his climb, but he picks up another 3 second. That's 2 3-second penalties in the space of 3 laps. Danger has been pushing hard and gets the fastest lap, but the complication of that is now he's got 6 seconds worth of penalties, as Spicy has DNF'd in the pits as well. Trent has done well to hang on here on old tyres, and that's going to give him a little bit of protection from Danger behind this DRS train, and it's getting really close. You feel like something is on the horizon here as we go down the back straight. Ari Wedlock leading a huge train. Keithy will get through. Grateful Dog might also. And Martin absolutely flying! Oh my goodness, down the inside. That was very, very close to a Sauber disaster. Ari Wedlock didn't see him coming, but Martin does get through. Ari Wedlock down to 5th, and now wheel to wheel into turn 1. Banging wheels goes Grateful Dog and Martin, and all of a sudden the race spicing up, and there's contact between the Saubers again, and Piastri picks up a 3-second penalty. Ari Wedlock and Martin so close. Martin had to get out onto the grass there to stay out of it, and Guga has retired in the pits as well. What a interesting sequence we saw there, and I said something's on the horizon, and that was very, very close to a disaster. Have fallen apart here. Keithy's gotten away from Grateful Dog here by 1.1 seconds, which means without the comfort of DRS, as Globdrip retires in the pits as well. We're down to 12 drivers now, and Martin eases his way through. Ari Wedlock might be too far back, but Danger having a go down the inside, and that was a bit too much. And the Mercedes of Trent got caught up in that as well. Damage for Danger. And he stopped on the track. That was a bit too risky there from the Ferrari, who plummets down the order. All his hard work's been undone. Ari's down at a 7th. PS Bomber and Zonix, the McLarens, able to get up into P5 and P6. And Com United has put a Red Bull into the top 10 for possibly the first time this season, as Danger is out of the race. And what is happening here in ORL? We're down to 11 drivers out of 20. The McLaren suddenly P5, P6, with Ari Wedlock trying to get back through here. He's lost out, but now going to go down the inside of Zonix with DRS and gets that job done before the braking zone, even with front wing damage. And Zonix cut the track there a little bit, but he's going to fight it back. It's a 2v1 here. PS Bomber and Zonix versus Ari Wedlock. What's Zonix going to do? He's going to send it down the inside. He's going to get very close to his teammate. And Ari Wedlock boxed in by the two McLarens. What is happening here? This is fantastic racing. DRS open for Ari Wedlock. Is he going to be able to find a way through? Zonix into the wall. I think he got damage from that Zonix, but Ari Wedlock does get through. And yes, Zonix does have damage, and he's struggling now. And Mickey coming from behind. Mickey is now all of a sudden thrust into a moment of opportunity in this race, but can't quite get the job done. What a chaotic 2 laps we've just seen here at Canada. Now we're starting to settle down a little bit here on the track, but still a good battle here for P2, as Keithy down the outside gets past the damaged Kick Sauber here, and a retirement for Rhino, and it's a virtual safety car, and Martin comes into the pits to get the front wing changed, and now we're down to 10 drivers. All Com United needs to do is to finish this race, and Red Bull will have a point this season for the first time.
Yep, and what a story this is. 10. I can't even believe my own words here. 10 DNFs in Canada. P11 all the way to P20. And that is, well, it wasn't on my bingo card, to say the least. But it's very Season 1 ORL, would you agree?
Yeah, I think it sums it up quite well. For not just to change the wing, but also for new tyres. Is that going to help as Mickey and PS Bomber now wheel to wheel into turn 1? A little bit of wheel bumping. Mickey has the outside line, but PS Bomber fights back. It's going to be tight here. PS Bomber, the wise decision to let Mickey through there. Knows it's just important to secure some good points here. We don't need to be battling too hard. And it's a wise decision from the McLaren. There's only 7 laps remaining in this one. It's a good exit for Martin. Now down the inside he goes. And that's another place for the Sauber. Slowly working his way back up. There's 3 laps to go. Can he make up a place on Mickey here? He does have the same amount of penalties, so it's an even fight. And I think Martin's ceiling here is going to be P5. But Mickey's going to fight it hard to get those points for the Mercedes team.
In the DRS, he's closing on the Sauber, Will he go for a move towards the final corner? Yes, he will. He's going to go down the inside. Martin fighting this back.
Oh, no!
There's contact. Trent gets sent spearing off towards the barrier, manages to catch the car before it flies into the wall, but now he loses the place to PS Bomber, and more crucially, a 3-second gap to Martin.
The man who has been able to avoid all the chaos and all the carnage. And that's the way you need to do it here at ORL. He's had some great pace all day long. Oscar Piastri goes 3 for 3 in the Aston Martin. His 3rd win in his 3rd race, and he takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship with a perfect drive. Converted from pole to a race win. No dramas at all for the Aston Martin. A great finish for him. Keithy went penaltyless, which you could argue is just as impressive at this track. Takes a P2, and Ari Wedlock comes home with a podium, snatches it off Grateful Dog by 5/10 in the end. Martin takes home a P5, and Mickey has to settle for P7 in the end. Gets overtaken by Trent, and oh my goodness, that was close to Martin. And that spin at the end has cost Trent a couple points there for him and Mercedes. And McLaren P8, P9, and Com United is going to get Red Bull's first singular point for the season to get them off the mark. Wow, what a finish that was.
Your finishing order is Oscar Piastri go from Casey, from Ari Wedlock, from Grateful Dog, Martin, Trent, Mickey, PS Bomber, Zonix, and Com United. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but the rest of the 20-car grid is DNF'd. Definitely an interesting one, to say the least.
The lights are out, and we are underway. It's a good start for Piastri Goat, and Trent with a big snap there, and he is now wheel to wheel with Keithy, who's trying to take P2 off him straight away. Grateful Dog itching ahead of Mickey as well. It's still wheel to wheel here. Keithy around the outside of Trent. There's a bit of an incident towards the back as well. Keithy gets that position. Very nicely done. A mistake, and it's a huge pile up towards the back there. There's about 4 or 5 cars involved, and there's a Mercedes and a Ferrari. That's SV and Mickey's, and Clammy Kid's involved as well. That's a virtual safety car. Zonix is there as well. That's a lot of the front runners, and SV's gotten a 10-second penalty. And Ari Wedlock also involved. And yeah, that hopefully they'll be able to get them moved. Oh, and VSC ended, and Keithy right on the ball there. Trent made a mistake. He got onto the curb, and Keithy overtook with perfect timing and precision, and has the DRS as well. So well done by Keithy. Display here from all the top drivers, and Keithy now with just a slim lead, and look how close the top 4 are going into turn 1. This is fantastic racing action. Trent just hanging on those medium tyres, and they'll start to come alive soon enough. But Oscar Piastri looking down the inside now, and doesn't quite get through. The better line there for Grateful Dog. He's able to hang on, and now he's opened the door for Trent, who's got the outside line. He's got a good slipstream as well, and he sails past the Aston Martin. Can he sail past Grateful Dog as well? He's got the outside. He just doesn't have enough room there, and Grateful Dog cuts him off. And gee, look how close they are. This is fantastic to see. And Trent is now chasing after Grateful Dog once again into Cop's Corner. Here we go. And it's a yellow flag towards the back. Trent just with half a car ahead. Grateful Dog doesn't back out of it. Oh, he's nearly clipped the back wheel. We've seen that happen before, but it's just avoided this time narrowly. And Piastri continues to fall backwards. He's down at a P4 now. Globdrip has a really good run, but Keithy's gone off the track here, and Trent has a real opportunity to take the lead of this race after falling down off the start. Trent has a real chance. Round the outside he goes. There's a little bit of a slide. Keithy keeps the car in there, but it's not enough. Trent with a great run there takes the lead back. This has been high octane. It's a 7-car battle. Mahavir has joined it. He's at the back as well. Do not count him out at all. He has been unbelievable so far. Piastri Goat finally looking to take the lead back. He was all the way down in 4th at one point. And with the inside line, takes the lead back. Trent might have just bumped his rear a little bit there. No damage. No damage done. So they continue. In the meantime, Mickey moves up to 10th. Com United's dropped a couple places there. Just couldn't quite. There's a yellow. And it looks like Clammy Kid and Mickey were involved in an incident. And yep, Mickey is around. And that looks like a bit of damage. That might be from Clammy Kid though. He's not going to fight it too hard. Globdrip having a go at Grateful Dog. He's not going to let him past easily. He wants that track position. Globdrip's still right there. He's got a wheel in, and he's going to try and go around the outside, and it looks like he might have it, but that's a really good defense from Grateful Dog there just to keep the car in there, and really brave driving as well from the both of them. And look at this little 3-car battle. Can Com United squeeze a way through? He tries. He's made contact with Zonix, who's wheel-to-wheel with SV, and Zonix gets sent off because SV had a bit of a snap there. Com United comes into the pits. Zonix and SV wheel-to-wheel. Zonix takes the inside and gets the job done. That was a hairy moment there, but they both get away with it. Does Keithy. But these cars are so close together, and there's a yellow. I think that's Royal Duck. Yep, had a spin out of Maggots and Beckett's. We saw Ari go off there in qualifying. Is Piastri going to make the move? Trent does not allow him this time, and there's a little bit of wheel bumping. They get away with it again, and Piastri goes into the pits, as is Keithy, as is Grateful Dog and Globdrip. All the soft tyre runners are in, and it looks like they've all avoided 10-second penalties, which is a good thing for the race. As Mickey has retired, that's on track, and that's a safety car. And all of a sudden, that is a huge moment. Oh, if Trent had have waited a couple more laps, he would have been able to pit in the into the lead of this race. And Keithy comes in. So Aiden stays out. He's fine to stay out. Oh, actually, no, this is going to work well for Jayden and Trent. Is it going to help him? He's off. It's a good start for Piastri Goat. Is he going to get close enough? Not quite. But we're underway again here. Trent as well is really attacking, and he's going to go down the inside, and he's going to go take the lead of this race off Jayden, and he's done it. A bit of curb taken there, and now Piastri Goat is going to go down the outside. Jayden runs him wide. Piastri Goat finds the room, though, and he's going to start attacking Trent for the lead of this race. Trent ducks to the inside. Piastri Goat holds the outside. Now he falls into the slipstream. Is he going to have a crack? No, he's going to stay behind for now. But Keithy is really close to Globdrip. They've been going at it all race long as well. This is for P4. Keithy around the outside. Does he have the grip? He doesn't have enough. Mahavir's there as well in P6. Could still be on for a late podium. What about Piastri Goat and Trent again? Jayden's still right there too. Globdrip has just fallen out of the DRS. And Keithy does not want to be involved in that at all. He tries to cut underneath the Red Bull. They need to catch up here, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. It's 1.7 seconds. So this has become a bit of a three-horse race now. Piastri Goat has taken the lead around the outside of Trent. He's done it, and Keithy up into P4 as well. Mahavir and Guga fighting. Guga trying to make his way back up the field. Now wheels to wheel with Com United, and it's a really close battle. There's a yellow towards the back. It looks like a McLaren of Zonix. And wheel to wheel, Com United and Guga again. Guga on the inside, Com United on the outside. Didn't give him a lot of space. SV retires in the pit lane. PS Bombers pitted. And the McLarens, once again, not a good race. Guga down the inside, eggs onto it. There's contact between Kawista and Com United. And now SNF Wolf is wheel to wheel with Com United. Tries to get around the outside, but can't do it. Kawista a bit ambitious there. He's in 10th, so still in a point-scoring position. Keith and Globdrip 2 seconds back. If an incident happens, they'll be able to swoop on it. There's a yellow, and it's SNF Wolf in the barriers. And that is a disaster. No points will be scored for the RB. He looked good for a while. And in the meantime, Trent takes the lead back off Oscar Piastri Goat. And this is absolutely scintillating to watch. He might save it for later, but he's got to worry about Jayden as well. He's coming from behind. He's going to want to try and pinch this right at the last. Piastri Goat has a look down the inside. Jayden has a look down the outside. Globdrip having a look as well on Keithy. They're wheel to wheel. They've bumped. Keithy hangs on for the moment. Guga gets past Mahavir as well, but Mahavir has that inside line and gets away with it just into P6, but Guga's still there. Stays behind for the moment. We go back up to the front. We go to Cop's Corner. Piastri Goat's so close. They're all within 2/10 of one another. 3 cars so close. It does not get much better than this here. Look how close they are through Maggots and Beckett's. They're following each other unbelievably. And now Piastri Goat is going to have DRS. Jayden's going to have DRS. Trent's going to be a sitting duck here. He ducks to the inside. Piastri Goat ducks to the inside. He takes the lead of the race. Jayden gets stuck behind. Trent trying to hold it around the outside. Can he do it? It doesn't look like it. Trent has it. Piastri Goat into the final corner. Late braking from Trent. It's wheel to wheel. Piastri Goat just has a car in front. Jayden's going to get past Trent. Is it going to be Piastri Goat? It is. He wins the Grand Prix. Jayden takes second, Trent third, Keithy gets fourth, and Guga gets fifth at the end as well. Globdrip had a penalty. What a finish to this race. Piastri Goat at the penultimate corner gets the move done, and Jayden got second off Trent, who was a sitting duck with no DRS at the end. He was in a position no one wants to be in, but he gets a podium in the end. What a finish that was. And Piastri Goat also with the fastest lap. And look how close it was. Mahavir takes a P6. Globdrip with a costly 3 seconds. He would have had P4 in the end. Com United takes P8 as well. Red Bull, a good day. Flammy Kid P9, and then Kuist. The Dutch Grand Prix, Mahavir's on pole, and we are underway, and it's a good start for Mahavir. Already tucked straight into block. Piastri Goat off, who's getting attacked by Danger around the outside, and Guga as well, having a look at Danger early on, trying to get an early position. Can't quite do it though. Everyone clean through the first corner so far, and Trent has gotten ahead of Guga, and he's made contact with Keithy behind. Guga somehow saved that spin and stays in 5th place, but that's cost Keithy a little bit, and now Martin could be able to glide through here. They're wheel to wheel, the Sabre and the Ferrari, as Globdrip's gone off at the back. Keithy hangs onto that position as they're flying through the middle sector. All the cars down the hill now, and a very wild start there, but somehow everyone's facing the right way. As in the meantime, taking the lead of the race for the first time is Piastri Goat under DRS, gets past Mahavir. I believe that's going to be the first of many swaps we'll see over the next 36 laps. And the Aston Martin, the championship leader, is now in the lead. Mahavir ducks to the inside. Piastri Goat has no issues with that. And in the meantime, Guga also gets past Keithy. So the Aston Martin into P5. Guga looking quite strong on this track so far from what we've seen, as Clammy Kid has had to come into the pits. And that is an early stop. So is that a front wing change that will be needed for the Haas driver? Let's have a look. Yes, it is. So that hurts. That hurts Clammy Kid. Now he's on the hard tyres. Frosty and Com United. And Frosty has retired from the races. Down the inside, steaming down the inside goes Trent there on Danger. A little bit of contact as well. Danger's fighting back. And it's very tight here as they go to the back corner. Big slide for Danger. Just hangs onto it. And now Trent gains that position. It was aggressive driving there. Gaining through the last corner. As the Aston Martin, oh, Piastri Goat's hit the wall and he's out. That is a big moment in this race. And just a little mistake. Piastri Goat finds himself in the barriers at the final corner. And that is huge ramifications for this championship battle. Mahavir is now in the box seat to win this race. Wow. But what does happen is Mahavir is stuck behind the safety car and he didn't pit. So Mahavir missed that. Safety car came out at the exact worst time before the end of the straight. In fact, he goes now. He goes quite early. Trent's reacted well. This is a good chance for the Mercedes. If he can clear him into turn one, this could be a huge moment. He goes down the inside. Jayden Juicebox does defend it, but the grip for the Mercedes, is it going to be better? Jayden Juicebox still hanging on. He's fighting hard. He couldn't do it. The grip just was not there for the Alpine. And now Danger could just sail around the outside as well here. And I think he's going to be able to do it. He needs to stay within DRS of Trent here. That is crucial. I believe he has done. And now Keithy sneaks through. And JD Juicebox, the plan is starting to unravel a little bit for the Alpine. He's got Guga behind him now. He's got to be careful not to crash into anyone. And JD Juicebox has run wide onto the grass there. And it just has not gone to plan for the Alpine. Probably should have thought about pitting there. Tried to stay out. It didn't quite work. And there's been a yellow. Towards the back, it's a crash. Clammy Kid, Com United involved, and Ari Wedlock as well. No damage between any of them, though. That's a miracle that's happened. And this DRS train really starting to hurt as Danger has fallen 1.5 seconds behind the front two of Trent and Keithy. And a big snap for Martin. That's opened the door for Mahavir down the inside, and that is a move into 5th place. That's all it takes, a little moment. And Mahavir has taken that opportunity. And the grip as well, it's just fantastic. As now he goes down the inside of Guga. And he's going to try and have a crack. Guga tries to force him out the way, but Mahavir could get 2 places here. Now down the inside of Danger. And he gets that position. And Mahavir into P3. And oh, Martin. Guga's off. Guga's off and Martin. They had an incident. And Guga is out. And Martin has front wing damage. And his front wing is completely gone. And it's another safety car. And both Aston Martins are out of this race. Can you believe what you're seeing here? This championship has been blown wide open. But now Keithy in the lead, in a great position. And who's that? That's Mahavir in the wall. And as we thought the drama could not get any bigger, Mahavir has spun it on the restart, and now he's down in last on the track. That has given him a lot of work to do, and the safety car is underway. I can't believe what I've just seen. Grateful Dog there, 3 wide into turn 1. Grateful Dog gets past Danger. What is going on? Globtrip spun. He's back in the field again. What is happening here in ORL Tier 1? This is unbelievable stuff. What happened to Globtrip? He's still got his front wing intact. Mahavir is now flying. He's trying to get past JD Juicebox. Gets that job done to P11. But wow, 3 wide into turn 1 on the restart. Grateful Dog was the winner of that battle. And all of a sudden, Haas, P3 and P5, right in this. Takes the lead back. There's a yellow flag, and it's Koistra. It's a safety car. You've got to be kidding me. Kalista is out of the race. All of a sudden, Mahavir has been given a reprieve in this race. 12 laps to go. And he's off. Ari Wedlock off very early. It's a good start for Trent. He should be able to get this position into turn 1. And Ari Wedlock with a good start. Trent now down the inside. He's going to have a go at the Williams, who reluctantly allows him to go through and then runs a little bit wide. So Keithy and Danger get through, and that's the perfect start for them. Now they've just got one more car to navigate. Ari Wedlock, who's struggling with wing damage. A little bit of contact there between Trent and Ari, who's going to be doing his best for his teammate here, but couldn't hold on any longer. And that is a spin. Mahavir has lost his wing. What is going on? He's been thrown multiple lifelines in this race, but he is now round once again. As the second time in this race, we have not seen... This is very un-Mahavir-like, I can say that much. Usually he's not making any mistakes. And now down the main straight again. Here we go. Keithy's got a great run. He'll be able to get that job done. Is Danger going to pass as well? It looks like he might. Trent, he moved to the right there, but has allowed the Red Bull through, or has he? Braking late is the Mercedes. He wants to hang on to that second position, but Danger very nicely gets through and takes that position. Now Trent down to P3. He's lost 2 places on this lap. Lap 30 out of 36. Let's see if we can find it, actually, as we go down the main straight. As Danger takes the lead for the first time, and Trent swoops to the inside. There's contact. There's banging wheels. And Keithy desperately trying to hold that outside line. Trent edging in front. Can he hold it? He's got the outside line. Keithy sticking a car in. And they've made contact. And Trent has almost spun around, but he stays there. And now Danger has gotten away. Is that the crucial moment in this race? It's 1.6 seconds the gap now. And that has cost them a lot of time there, that little moment between Keithy and Trent. And now Danger has got a bit of a buffer to work with. And half a lap behind the leaders. And oh, a huge snap for Trent. He saved it though. That was unbelievable effort from Trent to get that. That could have been race over for him as well. As here we go, Keithy and Trent wheel to wheel into turn 1. And it's very, very tight. Trent looks like he has it. But Keithy with a good run around the outside. He's still hanging in there, but he yields the position to Trent there. And there's a lap car getting in the way. Glob Drip. He's going to have to move. And this could be a bit of an issue here. He's blocked Martin a little bit. That has cost him. That has cost Martin big time. So Martin's out of this battle. Danger is going to start the final lap here with a 3-second buffer. Can the Red Bull driver bring it home? Who's going to be finishing on the podium? It's Grateful Dog leading, but Trent is flying. So's Keithy. We could be 3 wide into turn 1. They both pass Grateful Dog. Keith charges down the inside, and now Grateful Dog tries to cut underneath as well. They're wheel to wheel. Trent is inching ahead. He gets a better run, and now he's into P2. Can he hold on to it for the rest of the lap here? It looks like it. That's a great move from the Mercedes. Can he bring it all the way home now? Grateful Dog is coming back at Keithy, but he just doesn't have the speed and the grip to get through, unfortunately. Look how close they are still, though. Can Keithy find another place to pass on this final lap? As Danger looks to be home on the final half of the lap here now. As Martin is now wheel to wheel with Grateful Dog. Look at this for P4. Grateful Dog hangs on. Look how close Keithy is. Can he go around the outside? Trent blocks the inside. Oh, very well defended there by the Mercedes. But as we look to the front, as Martin gets into P4, what an unbelievable race this has been. Twists and turns. But Danger is going to be the one that comes out on top. And it is a Red Bull who's going to win in ORL. It's Danger who gets the job done. Trent P2, Keithy P3, Martin P4. And Grateful Dog has had a spin. He's dropped down into P8. And now he's battling with Com United for P7. And you can see, not happy with that. But what a result. Danger with his first ORL win. Trent and Keith finish off the podium. They were up there all race long. Big story though. Championship leader, no points. Championship contender, no points. Piastri go to Mahavir. Remain equal. their points as they entered in today. An unbelievable storyline. Season 7, we are underway in Abu Dhabi, and it's a good start for Mahavir. He's got his teammate up on his inside, but he yields that to him for now. And all good for return 1. There's someone running wide there. I think it was Guga. He's dropped down to P6, and still running wide is the Aston Martin, and under pressure now from Keithy, who's flown through off the start. They're almost 3 wide into turn 5, but they get away with it for now. The 2 Mercedes drivers getting quite close. Trent chasing after his teammate with Piastri Goat in close pursuit as well. Which way is he going to go? Going to go to the outside. Trent defends as well. We could almost be 3 wide here, and Piastri Goat's going to go for the lead here around the outside of Mahavir. He gets past Trent. Doesn't quite get past Mahavir though. And Trent still has a good run on the outside though. And all of a sudden, Clammy Kid now involved in this as well. Some big team defending from the Mercedes drivers here. Is Piastri Goat going to go for a move? Is Trent going to go for a move on his teammate? He almost is, and Piastri Goat trying to hang it out around the outside. Mercedes hold on to their advantage for now, but it's getting very tight here on lap 1, and Clammy Kid around the outside of Piastri Goat wants to sneak onto the podium himself, and they have a bit of wheel bump here. Clammy Kid is absolutely flying here, and he's going to get through on Piastri Goat. What a move that was by the Haas driver. Piastri Goat tumbling down the positions, down to P6, now being attacked by Keithy, and he's into P7, so this is the worst possible start Piastri Goat could have asked for, and Guga down in 11th as well. Not a great start by any stretch, and Mahavir and Trent just going to try and go off into the distance here. Piastri Goat looking to the inside though of Keithy. Is he going to go for a move here on the Ferrari? He tried this last lap, it didn't work. Will it work this time? He's to the inside. Keithy pushed a little bit wider, but just hard racing there for Piastri Goat. That should be fine for him. He moves up into P6, and Trent, I tell you what, he's pushing hard. Trent defends to the inside, and this could get a bit hairy for them. Trent making a move on his teammate. They're wheel to wheel, and Mahavir lets him go, but Clammy Kid now alongside. And Mahavir's running out of room here, and Clammy Kid's going to try and make an opportunistic move. He went off the track there and picked up a 3-second. Oh, it's a big snap for Trent. He saved it just, but he's dropped down all the way to 6th, and that was a very, very close moment there. But crucially, Trent has fallen behind Piastri Goat, and now can't impact that battle as much. He's got some work to do to catch back up, but now Mahavir is vulnerable to the threat of Clammy Kid and Grateful Dog behind. This race is coming alive. Which way is he going to go? He's going to go to the inside, and he makes the move, and Oscar Piastri Goat right there as well. Mahavir breaks late and defends. Piastri Goat up into P3, a great exit for Clammy Kid. He's going to take the lead of this race, I think. No DRS for Mahavir. That leaves him vulnerable to his championship rival Piastri Goat, who's going to come around the inside or the outside. He didn't decide in the end, and he stayed behind the Mercedes, but it's the championship leader in P2 with his rival in P3, and they're reunited once again in this race. Is he going to make the move here, or is he going to wait for the next straight? He pulls out to the inside, doesn't attack him too aggressively, just wants to force him off the line a little bit as Piastri Goat gets very close to the rear of the Mercedes, and we can see absolutely flying along. And he's going to go to the inside. We could be 3 wide here. We're going to be extremely close. Piastri Goat to the inside, and he makes the move on Clammy Kid. Mahavir gets through, and there's contact between Clammy Kid and Piastri Goat, and Clammy Kid's had a huge moment, and that has taken him out. But Piastri Goat and Mahavir almost wheel to wheel there through that corner, and Mahavir hangs on to the position only just. But Clammy Kid now down to P9. That's a second of the drivers that's had a mistake in Sector 3. Is he going to try and play a bit of mind games here with Piastri Goat flying through? Guga will certainly let Piastri Goat through, and there's a bit of contact there between Mahavir and Piastri Goat. Doesn't look like there's any damage though, thankfully. But Guga will let Piastri Goat go through, but he's going to do a bit of a Sergio Perez here in the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Very similar, but Mahavir is going to be able to get through there on Guga, who's still trying though. The gap is now 9.5 tenths. And Mash gets through. Guga gets tapped and into the wall. And he reset to track. That's definitely a penalty. He's just hanging on by the skin of his teeth. Mahavir's going to go down the inside. And Globtrip didn't let him go easily. And there's a bit of contact there. Mahavir goes off the track. Globdrip also makes contact with Jayden there. Jayden not able to get through. Globdrip sends it down the inside. And as a result, oh, that is absolute carnage. And Martin's picked up a 10-second for corner cutting. And I reckon Jayden's got damage. That was a bit ridiculous by Globdrip there. Now chasing after Trent. And he's going to get that move done quite easily. Martin is in on the scene as well. Trent breaks very, very late. And all of a sudden he's got some problems with Mash behind him. And Martin is going to make a move here on Jayden potentially, and Mash is going to have a look at Trent as well. It's a 4-car battle. Trent down the inside of Jayden. Jayden going to try and hang it out. But Trent has the superior grip there on the inside line. Now Mash is going to attack Jayden, who's still trying to get past Trent, and this is getting very, very tight. And I'm shocked that everyone's still facing the right way after that. What a thriller it has been. And there's a yellow flag. It's SV who spun around and lost his wing, and that's a virtual safety car. And SV is going to have to come into the pits, so we'll see if anyone takes advantage of this opportunity to come in. Will Jayden try and go for the move here? And Grateful Dog really close here. It's a 3-car battle. And Jayden just hangs on, but he's run a bit wide. He's opened the door for Grateful Dog, who's now on the outside. Jayden has to brake late, and a bit of a snap for Grateful Dog. SV is retired from the race, and that's another virtual safety car. Martin, once again, this enthralling battle between 3rd all the way down to 8th. Martin going to try around the outside. Trent doesn't want that to happen. Martin trying to keep it in there. There's contact again. Yeah, it's getting a bit tense here as Mash trying to have a look around the outside. Just wants to stay away from that for a little bit. Doesn't want to become collateral damage to a potential incident between these two. And oh, Martin has a spin there. And that looked inevitable from the last couple of laps of battling. It became continually more aggressive between the two of them. As Piastri Goat rounds the couple of corners, Mahavir is unfortunately going to come second, but Piastri Goat is going to get his 5th win of the season, and he's going to secure the championship for Season 7. It's Piastri Goat who gets the job done and is your ORL Season 7 Tier 1 champion for his first time in his career. Oscar Piastri Goat gets the job done for Aston Martin and secures the championship. There will be celebrations for him. Also celebrations at Mercedes, who finish off the podium in 2nd and 3rd place. They secure the Constructors' Championship after coming from behind. An awesome result for Mahavir and Trent and their team principal, Lindsay. They get the Constructors' Championship, the coveted title. Mercedes win for the 2nd season in a row. Piastri Goat first, takes the championship. Mahavir 2nd. Commiserations. Had a great season to fight back into it, but does walk away with a Constructors' Championship victory, which I'm sure he'll be very proud of. And of course, driver of the day will go to Piastri Goat. P3 down to P7 on lap 1, and he's charged through the field and gotten the win. So that's it for ORL Season 7. Hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you in the not too distant future for our first season on F1 25. So stay tuned for that, and we'll be back. Don't worry about it. See you later.